Our session with Ishaan today is quite interesting. We are going to be talking about how to stabilize the business post COVID. And Ishaan runs a chain of a very fun bar called 145, which I'm sure most of y'all have been to. So that is something that we're going to be talking about. Hey, Ishaan.
Hey Pawan, how's it going?
All good. So, Ishaan, just before you joined, I was telling him how 145 is one of our most favorite bars that all of us go to. And yes, we were all just waiting for you to join in. So, can you just quickly, take us through on, what the parent company does? You've got a couple of more brands except for 145 also.
Right,
And you
right,
also, I
right.
think, restaurants internationally. So, if you can just, take everybody through it.
Right, so just to introduce everyone, introduce myself to everybody. My name is Ishaan Bahl. I'm the CEO of Risa Hospitality. Risa Hospitality has two major brands under it. One is 145, which everyone knows quite well. We've got 4 outlets, one in Kalagoda, Bandra, Kamla Mills, and our latest outlet, which is in Andheri. The other brand that's under Risa Hospitality is Khyber. Khyber is a 62-year-old North Indian restaurant, which is in Port. It's 1958 was its inception. In 1985, there was a massive fire that burned it to the ground. We rebuilt it, and it's 62 years old and still functional and running. We also have a Khyber in Dubai, which is a franchise. So that would encompass all the brands that fall under Risa Hospitality.
And 145 is something that I think when you joined the business, that was your pilot project, which is now one of the most successful chains of bars in Bombay. So, what was the entire concept and idea behind creating 145? What's the brand story?
So, I studied at USC at Marshall Business School, where I graduated in December 2014. Upon my return, my father was running with some of his partners as well, some of our partners, was running a European restaurant called Cheval.
Right.
And it was a slightly more expensive, high-end, a slightly higher expensive concept, and that wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. So as soon as I came back, I think my best experience and my best learning experience was, working there for 6 months. Seeing what doesn't work actually really helps you understand the market, gives you clarity on, what really doesn't work is the best learning experience possible. And that really was something that helped me greatly. So I spent 6 months at Cheval trying to understand what exactly our concept was all about, why it wasn't working, why people weren't accepting of that concept. And at the same time, simultaneously researching the market, seeing what was working at the time and what was picking up heat and pace. The casual dining space, which is pocket friendly, a cool hangout space, catered to millennials between the ages of 25 and 35. The sweet spot pricing, that's really what seemed to have been picking up heat at that point of time. Yeah. And so began the inception of 145. We decided that we wanted to create a cool hangout place, something that would cater to the ages of 25 to 35. That was our target market. We wanted to focus on having a variety of small plates in our menu. We wanted to make sure that it was pocket friendly. We wanted to make sure that this was a concept that appealed to anybody and everybody. So anybody coming in could come there 4 or 5 times a week, and they wouldn't feel that they're burning a hole in their pocket.
Right.
So we believed that when we were trying to research the concept and trying to come up with ideas, we did a lot of research on food, drinks. We obviously come from a food-oriented background with Khyber, and because of that, we spent a lot of time on our food menu. We imported a lot of ingredients, mostly sauces and things that kind of complement and add value and take the dish to the next level from different countries. And even things which are as simple as the glassware, the presentation of our drinks, the presentation of our food, we really went into excruciating detail, because according to me, attention to detail is the most critical piece of the hospitality business. So if you're able to really focus on the very last detail and make sure that you leave no stone unturned, that will, that really does well. And that's exactly what we did with 145. We have, usually most of our units are around 3,000, 3,500 square feet. Like I said, they're pocket friendly. We have a nice ambience. We've got a pool table. In some of our places, we've got a hookah room where we serve shisha. So, like I said, that was the idea behind the concept: a cool, friendly hangout place with pocket-friendly alcohol and food. And it just clicked. It clicked from day one. We had 145 Kala Goda, which launched in December 2015. Our Bandra outlet, which launched in 2017. Kamla Mills in 2019, and Andheri was our latest outlet in August of 2019. And now we've got 4 outlets. Targeted 145 is to try and make sure that we attract the right profile of customers, and that's worked for us. It's worked really nicely for us.
And also, I feel that while 145 started off, the market was already quite overcrowded, and the casual dining space was an ever-growing space with way too many entrants. So at that given point of time, how did you try and create a market niche for yourself? Because 145 in all possible locations right now, wherever it is, it's doing really well. So what was your strategy right there?
So I think something that we were very focused on was our food. We felt that while our competition was doing things, a lot of people are doing a lot of things really well, we felt that there was a little pocket over there to try and create an atmosphere with very good quality food. We felt that our competitors, while, they had a lot of great things going around, we felt that we could take the quality of food even higher than what it was, and kind of getting that pricing with that food quality really, really worked for us. We had, kitty groups coming in, we had lawyers coming in, we've got college kids coming in. So the crowd was diverse because of that. The second thing that we did is, I think we created a really nice ambience. We spent the capital expenditure for that project was substantial, but I think it worked out, because I think when people come into 145, they resonate with the ambience, the quality of what we're offering over there for the prices that we're offering over there. And I think that's something that really did well for us. The third thing, like you said, it's one of your favorite bars, and one of the most critical things about that is the quality of crowd that you attract.
Yeah.
And we really, really made sure that we invested a lot of time, effort, and energy in attracting the right audience. And of course, the fourth thing that I think we did right is that we, our objective of starting 145 was always to try and make sure that we create a brand. We create something that can, it can work, and we can take it to several different cities, different areas, something that's sustainable, something that can be expanded. And because of that, we invested in systems and processes, which I can't stress the importance of. I think that we've got a big reason that we're successful today is because we've got a fantastic team. And, that's not me, but that's all the people who work with me. They assist me, and we collaboratively, kind of really make things work. We've got a fantastic brand manager, we've got a mixologist, we've got a bar manager. So all of these things, in addition to our unit heads, we've created structures, policies, and systems. And I think systems are critical to make, a business sustainable and expand it.
So, keeping this in mind, and everybody's role into ensuring that the brand does really well, keeping in mind the current situation, how are you dealing with everything on ground? And you're a multi-outlet brand, so how do you handle this situation on a ground level?
I think it's challenging. It's very difficult for anybody in the hospitality industry or any industry for right now. It's a very challenging time. There are several factors to be considered. One is that, like I said, we've got a fantastic team. We need to take care of our team. We need to make sure that we're paying them salaries and that they're looked after. We've got rental agreements with our landlords, which are challenging because, it's difficult because we need to try and come to some kind of consensus and mutual understanding with them. So there's that element of it. And then, of course, the third element of it, which is probably a lot scarier than what's going on currently, is that post-lockdown, things are not going to be the same. So right now, while we've got no revenue coming in and we've got expenses that need to be paid, post-lockdown is going to be even scarier because it's not like restaurants are going to open with a bang. And, we're going to have, 145 has 500-600 people on a Friday, Saturday night. That's not going to happen. because of the whole policy and concept of social distancing, having the distance of around 3 feet per person. If you do that, restaurants are going to be operating around 30% of their capacity. So it's a difficult situation. I think we as an industry right now are we're just kind of waiting and seeing what the government is going to do with its stimulus package. We're hopeful, we're optimistic that they can provide us some sort of relief with it. And, Maharashtra being, taken over by Shiv Sena, the Aditya Thackeray is very pro-hospitality, so we're confident that he will try and do something to assist us. So that's the plan right now. Just wait and watch and see what happens.
So while you were speaking about the rentals, have your landlords been proactive with taking any decisions or, coming on board with how the industry is taking shape?
So I think right now what we're doing is everyone's just waiting and watching. We're kind of seeing what happens because, if the government announces something, then the whole dynamic really changes. So right now everyone's just waiting and watching. I don't think, while we're very optimistic that landlords will waive rent for this period, I would say that's optimism and that's not practicality. So I think that if we're hopeful that something like that could happen, but it's more likely that we'll have to come to a mutual understanding with our landlords and try and figure something out long term. Because if there are certain landlords who are not willing to make this a long-term win-win, I'm sure that we'll see a lot of restaurants exit.
True. And so this is how the functioning on the back end is going to work. But coming on board on the front end part of it, a lot of restaurants are very customer-centric brands, right? Including 145 being heavily customer-centric. So at this given point of time during lockdown, how do you plan to engage with your customers and how do you stay in touch? How do you keep a brand value active?
So at the moment, we are not particularly active on our digital platforms, but we are encouraging our managers, our unit managers, our brand managers, etc., to be in constant touch with our customers, drop them a message maybe once every couple of weeks, make sure that everyone at home is safe. We've got a lot of people telling us that, why can't you guys start delivery and we want your freak shakes and things like that. But we don't feel that it's particularly safe for our staff to even commute to come in. I think, we read news about what happened with Domino's as well. So, it's everywhere right now and we just don't want to take the risk or have the liability of, anybody coming in and something happening. So as a result of that, we've just stayed closed. Like I said, our team is fantastic and they have been, I've encouraged them to be in touch with all our customers, our regulars, and that's pretty much all the communication that we've been having at the moment. That's pretty much it.
Okay. And so once things get better in the post-COVID area, how do you plan to stabilize business? What are the immediate strategies that you think you'll be executing at 145 to get back to business?
So I think the post-lockdown period is going to be extremely challenging for restaurants and bars especially. I think for restaurants it's going to be difficult and for bars it's going to be even more difficult. I think there's going to be a new normal which is going to be established by the government. I think social distancing is going to continue. I think that it's going to be, this year is going to be challenging for restaurants and bars. It's going to be survival. Everyone's going to have to cut costs, remain efficient. I wouldn't see, any restaurants or bars doing more than 30 to 40% of their sale value pre-COVID. So that is something that is alarming. And I think that if we do see some assistance from the government, that would be great. And I'm pretty optimistic that we will. But I still think that the aspect of social distancing and this new normal that will be created is something that's likely to happen. And I think that's, I think in a couple of months they're going to come up with a cure. But until a vaccination comes out, this is going to be our new normal everywhere.
Right. And so do you have any strategy in mind for 145 to adapt to the new business trends that will take over? Example, deliveries might be a big chunk of revenue that's going to come in. And while currently 145 does deliver, but I don't think that is your primary business model, which also later might not be, but do you think it will definitely take up the stakes?
I definitely think so. Absolutely. I think that, cloud kitchens are something which the industry has moved towards as a whole, because they're, low capex, no barriers to entry, and, with platforms like Swiggy, Scootsie, and Zomato, you can see where their products working right off the bat. But I definitely do see our delivery sale going up by at least, double, for sure, because I think a lot of people are going to want the food, they're going to want to have that, but they're going to be very hesitant to come in, and because of that we're going to see footfall drop in-house. But I definitely think that there's going to be an upsurge in delivery sales. I think that we as a team are going to look at maybe spending a little bit more digitally. I don't think that we'll have a lot of artist management and program management, where, usually in bars you tend to have a different DJ every week and you have different people coming in to perform to attract new crowd. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's right now trying to attract the same crowd that you've always been attracting, your customers who are loyal to you. You're going to be trying to target those people to come back, and we probably will look at spending a little more money digitally and pushing our delivery sales. Because I think that our restaurants, in terms of the seating capacity, will be fine. Even if we have any bar crowd, it's likely they won't be permitted because of the social distancing laws that will come in. As a result of which, if we want to see some incremental revenue, we'll have to try and push delivery out digitally, and I think that should work.
And also with deliveries taking the forefront now, do you think it's also going to emerge into new food trends, which are more delivery worthy and, maybe play around with quantities?
So I think that I don't think that anyone's, it's not particularly likely that anyone's going to, because a restaurant, if you open up a restaurant or bar, it's a very capital intensive business. It's a very expensive proposition. So I don't see a lot of people looking to open up restaurants and bars over the course of the next 1 year until things stabilize. As a result of which, it's probably likely that we will see more people going into the delivery model. It's something that has picked up a lot of heat over the last couple of years, and it's continuing to grow. Scootsie, Swiggy, Zomato, like I said, these guys are really, really, they're pushing out certain brands, and those brands are doing some great numbers. So I do think that post-COVID, I think that we're going to see another further upsurge in the cloud kitchen model.
So while talking about deliveries, do you think there are going to be new food trends within the delivery segment? So there is an existing menu that every restaurant will have, but do you think they'll need to modify, change that, adapt to more delivery-worthy food? Because currently, I think what a lot of restaurants and even bars serve is more pre-plated, limited quantity with pricing. But as soon as now you get into delivery, the game is a little different. So how do you adapt to that?
I think that maybe it's possible that restaurants will have a slightly more limited menu. If you're ordering something, I think that the standards of hygiene are going to be really critical, what's going to be followed in each individual kitchen. And I think that it's likely that most restaurants will employ. I think that's. I'm not really sure about what kind of different food trends we could possibly see, but I just think that there'll be an upsurge in delivery, to be very honest with you.
Right. So I think just rounding that up, we're relying on about 30 to 40% of sales which are going to come in from dining in. Delivery takes a massive chunk of the total business that plans to come in. So while now the entire marketing gets divided between delivery and dining in, what are some strategies that you would adopt in terms of specific marketing and communication across your assets that you have?
Sorry, I can't get you, Pawan. Could you repeat that question, please?
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Right. So I was summing up what you said, which is going to be about 30 to 40% of the dining in revenue that's going to succumb to, and delivery taking up massive stakes, right? So the entire marketing communication now gets divided between delivery and dining in. So is there any particular strategy that you're trying to formulate to push communication out via your assets that you currently have, digital and offline?
I think so. With 145, we service around 10,000 customers a month per outlet. So the advantage that we have is we've got an extended database. So I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible.
So we've got an extended database. So I think that's something that we're definitely going to tap into. once we do open post-lockdown, we're going to try and attract our loyal customers and try and bring them back in. I don't think that this is the time to be attracting new customers, because I don't think that it's likely to happen. I think most people are going to try and bring back their loyal customer database, which is going to work. I think that in terms of the way we market ourselves, it's going to be really critical to market ourselves intelligently on digital platforms without spending too much money, because we're going to have to keep our costs low.
Right.
I think that it's, like I said, for restaurants over the next 6 months, I think it's going to be the correct word to put in is survival, because it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very challenging. There are big brands, all the big brands around India are finding the situation difficult, and I think that most people are going to tend to, rely on their customer databases that they've got, and to make sure that they try and push themselves out digitally and see what happens with with delivery and things like that.
Right, got it. And so while re-engaging with existing customers and tapping back into their loyal database is very important, do you think there are going to be loyalty programs that are going to emerge into the delivery segment?
So I think I'll split that question in two parts, because loyalty programs and discounts are something which most people are curious about with restaurants in general, and the second part is loyalty programs with delivery. But basically, I think that. So we at 145 have never believed in doing, any form of discounts. We don't have a loyalty program at the moment, but we've never believed in doing any form of discounts. And I think that's because we have a really reasonable price point. I think we provide value for money. We're a value for money proposition. And I think that we provide value for what we're offering. So as a result of that, I think that the discounting module is not going to be sustainable in-house, at least for, before we've had in-house deals, which we ourselves push forward, which is, backtracked by our sponsors backing us. But I don't think that's going to be sustainable now once we reopen. I do believe, though, that discounting on delivery platforms does work, really does work, because once a platform really pushes you forward, it gives you a lot more visibility. And when it gives you a lot more visibility, you have a lot more orders. It's as simple as that.
And a very certain visibility game.
Absolutely. So I think different models work differently. But I think definitely some form of discounting definitely works on delivery, but I don't think it's going to be sustainable in-house.
Sounds great. So, Ishaan, we're just going to be taking a couple of questions that people have in the comment section that we would like you to answer. We have Flash Entertainment asking, is it worth to open a restaurant post the lockdown or open once the market starts getting some movement?
Probably not. Probably not. That's the harsh reality of the situation. I would suggest that if you've got a project going on right now, to try and defer it as much as possible, because once things normalize, once you've got a vaccination, restaurant industry is going to boom. We are going to see numbers that we have never seen before. It is going to be insane. So I'd much rather, you wait it out and try and open up when you can pick up on that momentum, because an opening is all about momentum. You open with a lot of energy, you have a big opening party, you call people for trials, the whole town is talking about it. If you do that right now, that's not going to happen, because A, you're not going to be able to have a lot of people in a space. B, once you open, there are going to be all forms of restrictions and regulations that will be imposed on you, which is going to be extremely challenging.
Right.
So it's probably better to defer it for a couple of months, wait for this threat to go away completely, if that's an option. And then once that's done, post this COVID era, I think that it would be a fantastic time to open up a restaurant or bar.
So I think once things settle down and things are back to normal and great numbers are coming in, what are expansion plans for 145 in that scenario? Are there any new markets that you've already identified?
So we have, obviously we've identified a bunch of markets. We've actually map planned, our route all the way to 2025. We know exactly what our plan is going to be. Currently we were in the market to raise money, and we have a couple of interested, investors who are very interested. So we're kind of weighing out the options over there. Obviously this is going to have a big impact on the entire process, and it's going to slow down expansion greatly. We are optimistic that in a couple of months we'll be able to, come back and I think hopefully we'll have enough interest. We're looking at cities like Bangalore, Pune, Delhi. Recently, we've seen upsurge in markets like Kolkata, Chennai.
Yeah.
So, there are a couple of different places where, certain other cities, Hyderabad is another city that's been, that's really coming up of late. So, yeah, there's a lot of scope and a lot of hope for 145. And I think maybe in a couple of years, you can definitely expect us to have, 3x the outlets, hopefully.
So Chirag Maru is online with us. You've put out right there, Chirag, he has great expansion plans. Please, Ishaan post this. And okay, so moving on from that, keeping your expansion plans in mind, does 145 also look at giving out franchises, or is it going to be all company-owned models?
So we've got a lot of franchise offers, but we currently are not giving out any franchises. We may consider a franchise-owned company-operated module. That's about it. But as of now, we are not giving out any franchises. We've got a lot of offers in the past, but we have not decided to take that route. So that's where we stand on that at the moment.
Right. And if there are some potential investors who would like to join in and invest with you, how can they get in touch with you?
I think if they can, if they can just reach out to me on Instagram and then we can connect further through email, I think that'd be the best route. I have my email ID and all my details on my Instagram profile as well. So in case there is anybody, I'd love to get in touch with them and we can take that conversation forward. We have a firm representing us as well. So,
Right.
They can take the lead from there.
Sounds great. So, Ishaan, if you would have any closing lines for everybody.
I just want to say that I think right now it's really important that everyone stay together, stay safe, and stay strong. Because there are a lot of people sitting at home, stressed, worried. Please know that it's not just you; it's all of us. Everybody is in the same boat today. Every entrepreneur is in the same boat today. If you've got 3 restaurants or 5 restaurants or 10 restaurants, sure, the burden might be a little bit more, but it's as stressful a situation, relative to what kind of situation you're in. So we're all in the same boat, and we are optimistic, we are hopeful that things will be better soon. And right now, I think it's priority to just stay safe and hope for the best, and hopefully we'll all hear some good news soon and we'll all be back at 145.
Right. And before we sign off, there's something that I'd like to say. At NRAI, we're doing this campaign called Feed the Needy, where we pledged to feed about 10 million meals during the lockdown period. So, guys, please do contribute towards that. A lot of restaurateurs have actually given out their kitchens and stuff where we're cooking these meals every day. We're currently on an average of almost 1 lakh meals every day. And this is going on pan-India. So please do donate generously. You can find a lot of links on the NRAI and the NRAI Youth Committee pages. And keep tuning in with us every day at 5 p.m. We've got some great sessions lined up through the week for people who want to enter into the industry and a lot of people who are already restaurateurs but wanting to gain more insight. And lastly, thank you so much, Ishaan, for joining us. It was great having you, and this was a really insightful session. Thanks for sharing a lot of plans that you have for 145 with everybody. And guys, please
it was my pleasure.
On his DM for anything that you guys want to know. And here signing off, we had 3 great sessions today with Ronak, Avik and Ishaan. My name is Pawan Shahri. I was really happy to host this session and looking forward to get in tune with everybody very soon.
Thanks, Pawan.